Alright, welcome back everyone to another video. Coach Aaron here. This is a special video because if you watched my previous video on problem number 3, I hope that you caught the mistake. I made a mistake. I didn't find the strongest line actually, and when I was reviewing for posting the video, I caught the mistake. So if you watched it and you found the line, congratulations, you are a strong player. You saw something that I didn't see initially. And rather than going back and re-recording the video and fixing, quote, fixing the mistake, I decided I'm just going to do another video and explain it for those that maybe didn't catch it. Because like I've said, is that I'm reading this chess book for the first time, and so I'm going to miss things. I'm not really going to see everything. Rather, as opposed to having a prepared video where I look at the problem, I go through all the lines, and I check it with a computer and do all that in order to present it all. This is a more accurate feel of the learning process for chess. So I'm not going to yap too much about it, but I'm going to go into the problem and see and show the line here. Okay, so if you remember here, we started with the black pieces to move, taking on d4, the knight recaptured on d4, queen played to b6, pinning the knight, queen came to d6 to defend the knight, and then this beautiful knight moved to e4. It was a discovery attack, but it was also a double attack on the queen as well. So the queen now has to move or she'll be lost. And then queen played to e5, the book line, and we also looked at the alternative of queen d7 here, and the book line did give here knight to d6 as the best move. I played first the rook move, but that wasn't a mistake because that was in the book. I just didn't see it initially. And then let's go back. Queen e5, rook e6 was given, and then after queen h2, the author ended the problem with queen takes on d4 with check. Of course, during the video, if you watch the video, we did look at the next move, king playing to h1, just getting out of the check, and because we don't want to go with the rook blocking. That would be a huge mistake, because now we're going to get something like check, king to h1, and now you're just dropping the material. The queen's going to get traded off here, and we're just going to get to a winning endgame. Okay, I didn't go over this line in the other video, but when I was reviewing, I was like, well, what about that line? And it allowed me to see the stronger move. So without further ado, here we go. After king h1, we have a really great move. Knight to f2 check. If you found it, way to go. Because I didn't see it initially. I had to go back and look at the problem a second time. So this is also a benefit of reviewing the tactics problems. You might find a better move. Now here, white has to now drop the exchange here, and now black is up the rook is coming down, and black's going to get checkmated. So that's a strong line here. White really has to do something really strong right now, but it's going to be a lost game tactically, because if the queen moves away, you're going to lose a defender on g2, and trying to give yourself some luft maybe with g2, g3, this still doesn't help, because you're still going to get checked. What we say, checked and wrecked here. It's just going to lead to a checkmate. So there's no escaping this for white. Very strong move. The only other idea that white has here is to get out of the check. Here, g1, but let's see if you spotted this incredible move. again, what we saw in a previous problem is knight moving out of the way with a discovery check. That's been the theme. Discovery check and also a double attack here against the queen. Absolutely devastating for the white side. And so even blocking here with the rook is going to lead to this nice little move. King plays to h1, and now we just take the queen, and now black is up a queen and a rook. This game's going to be over pretty soon for the white side. It's just game over. So let's go back. If white decides just to get out of the check, then bye-bye queen. And even though this is a little bit better than the previous line because white still has a rook, still has a chance, really black just has too much material here going into this endgame. It's going to be a win for black. And I missed that. I only considered the knight moving away. I didn't consider the knight in this position in the other video. If you watched it, I only considered the knight moving either back to these squares were the only ones that are really considered. But as you can see, the not so obvious moves are sometimes the strongest. I didn't even consider that the knight could play here, here, here. And even though you might say, well, you know, coach, all those squares are controlled by white pieces. Sometimes tactically, one of those moves might be stronger than the alternatives. So this was a much stronger move. This knight to f2. I had to make another video about it rather than erasing the other one. I'm just going to leave them up and show the learning process. I hope that you stuck with me through that. And if you found it, like I said during the first video, like, hey coach, why don't you play knight f2? Then you'll see that. Hope you didn't throw the computer out the window, but you stuck it out to see if I would find it. One thing, just one last thing before we go. This happens a lot with chess books, especially now in the modern era, and especially with older books, that players have found errors in chess books. This doesn't invalidate them. I don't believe it makes them bad books or bad authors. I think it's a good thing for you as a chess player that if you find an error in a book, that's good for you. That means that you're learning, that you're improving. Especially this book that I have chosen to go through, they only give the solution lines, let's call that. They just give 4 or 5 moves, 3 or whatever, and say this side wins, this wins, and you have to dig a little deeper to find out why the win is there. This is why I chose this book, because there's so many more lines to investigate. And when we do it that way, in a more freestyle type of way, to borrow a chess term and use it in a different way, when we go through the lines and learn, we're going to make some mistakes. We're going to make also discoveries at the same time. So it's part of the learning process. That's why I made this video. And in the future, I might make some more mistakes. This is a thick book. There's going to be more learning. I learn every day. That's why I make these videos. That's why they're fun. Chess is always fun. There's always something to learn. There's always stronger moves to find. So with that, I'm going to stop yapping. Thank you so much for continuing on this journey. We're going to keep going. Like I said, there's hundreds of problems. We're going to find all kinds of stuff. So thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.